Hello, this is Adam. On this video, I will be explaining the sensor blocks and data wires. So, there are 7 yellow sensor blocks. They each measure a sensor and give you an output. The output can be transferred to an input via a data wire. Data wires just move information from one place to another. They can be used to, for instance, control a motor from a sensor. An example of this is a simple line following program. So, all the sensor blocks have slightly different features based on what's being measured. For instance, with this brick buttons sensor block, you can only measure the brick buttons because that's all you can measure. However, with, for instance, the color block, you can measure color, reflected light, or ambient light. So the others all have different features and amounts of features. The infrared sensor, you can measure proximity to an object, beacon, which includes the heading of the beacon and the proximity to the beacon, and the remote, which measures which button is being pressed on the remote at that time. The motor rotation block allows you to measure or compare, which allows you to compare the measurement to a certain threshold that you set. Degrees, rotations, and current power. The timer, touch sensor, and the RGB color sensor all only measure one thing. So for the timer, it's time. For the touch sensor, it's the state, whether it's pushed in or not. And for the RGB color sensor, it can only measure RGB color. As another example for data wires, here's how you can make a simple program that will, when you get near an object, the motors will slow down, and when you're farther away from an object, they'll speed up. So the way you will do this is you have the infrared sensor block on measuring proximity, and you would connect the data wire with the power input for a move steering block. So the way this would work is when it starts, it would measure proximity, and that would translate to the power. In other words, if, for instance, you put your hand in front of the infrared sensor on a robot, it would slow down so it wouldn't crash into your hand. So, that's a basic introduction on sensor blocks and data wires. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.